Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, this particular video that I am about to bring you speaks to a narrative that we are all already aware of, but this story adds a bit more flesh to the bone of it. So with that guys, I bring you this 2023 grand plot by presidency powerful clique for North to retain power uncovered. So that's the headline. 2023 grand plot by presidency powerful clique for North to retain power uncovered. So now let's get into exactly what is going on here. Details of a grand plot by a powerful clique in the presidency to ensure that the North retains power in 2023 is beginning to emerge. It was gathered that part of the strategies is to completely erode the powers of the current Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, in major policies and programs of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari for the rest of his second term in office. The clique is said to believe that it was necessary to curtail the rising profile of Osinbajo by making him less powerful and less visible so as to prevent the current number 2 from becoming a major obstacle to the 2023 presidency project. Just on Monday, the presidency stripped the vice president of leading the economic team of the government as President Buhari constituted a new one that will report directly to him. Less than 24 hours after that, President Buhari ordered the dissolution of the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property SPIP, headed by Mr. Oko Obom Obla, who was sacked from office. The agency was initiated by the vice president when he was acting president to complement the anti-corruption crusade of the Buhari government. Information source told the correspondent on Tuesday that the well-knitted agenda of the clique to undermine the mutual rotation of power between the North and the South had been set in motion. Since 1999, when the country returned to civil rule, the arrangement has largely ensured that power interchanged between the two geographical divides. According to sources, the arrowhead of the latest plot ahead of the 2023 presidency is an alter ego of the president. Under the broad-based graduated agenda, the clique is seeking the consent of the president to redeploy key advisors and aides to Osinbajo from the presidential villa to whittle down his powers and other areas of influence. Influential members of the clique are reportedly uncomfortable with what they perceived as the rising profile of Osinbajo as hardworking and mobile, which they believed must be quickly deactivated before it blossomed and encouraged other Southerners in the race for the 2023 presidency. Lately, some northern elements, including the vocal Senator Shehu Sani, have joined the fray in the advocacy for a president of the Southwest extraction in 2023 in appreciation of the support of the zone for the Buhari presidency. Some influential persons in the current federal administration are also said to favor the South, producing the successor to Buhari. The source said all the key advisors and aides of Osinbajo with mandates spanning wide-ranging powers and functions may be redeployed to ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government if the president consents to the plan. Whilst the proposal of the group was not categorical on the choice of the presidency, some members of the inner caucus tipped Kingibe as the preferred choice. Now, Kingibe, of course, is a name that we're familiar with. He was the running mate for Abiola all those years back in that now June 12 infamous election under the Buhari regime. So his name is now recurring again as a potential champion for the Fulani agenda. But of course, Kingibe is not a name that carries any real sway within the Nigerian space. So I suspect that it will be El Rufai ultimately that will lead this charge if this plan that they have comes to full bloom. It has to be led by somebody like El Rufai because he has the gravitas, the energy and the zeal and the acumen and the intellect to drive it. But I'm not quite sure if King Igbe does or if King Igbe even wants it. But then King Igbe is the name that they have brought up in this particular, I wouldn't say conspiracy theory, but in this theory that this particular piece is fleshing out to us. So we carry on. Already there's disquiet in the presidential villa over a directive reportedly issued the vice president asking him to seek presidential approval for decisions in agencies currently under his control. So I think we covered this in the previous video. Such bodies include the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, National Boundary Commission, NBC, and the Border Community Development Agency, BCDA. It was gathered that another influential politician from the Southwest was also in the radar as the cabal plans to clip his wings in the unfolding political dispensation. So another influential politician from the Southwest can only read as one name, and that name of course would have to be Tinubu. So they are looking effectively, according to this article, to clip the wings of Tinubu and Oshibanjo. A lot of people will say that they are one and the same people because Oshibanjo is of course Tinubu's boy. So we carry on. A major highlight in the agenda of the clique is the recent establishment of the Ministry of Social Development, Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, as it is said to have been designed to take over the function of the social investment programs. The vice president is credited with the initiative. The thinking amongst the members of the clique is that with the economic management team dissolved and the social investment program consigned to history, the coast will be clear for the ultimate agenda of the North retaining power in 2023. So now this is now somebody now coming out to give narration to this suspicion that we have that the play for 2023 is already in full bloom, and the play for 2023 is already in full bloom. Make no mistakes about that. The play for 2023 is already in full bloom. So the whole of the administration of Nigeria will be just maintain status quo for this second term of this Buhari thing that we have going on at the moment, and all of their energy and all of the resources of the country will be geared towards actualizing that retention of power in 2023. And this is really what is going on according to some people, and this is how some of us are reading the situations at play in Nigeria, because there's been slight movements here and there, and there's been maneuverings, and there's been hints all over the place. So we've been seeing all of these things playing out. There are two things emerging from all of the undercurrents and all of the underplays going on at the moment. And the two things emerging from the undercurrents and the underplay is, firstly and above all else, these people do not want Tinubu to replace Buhari. They don't want it. They don't trust him. They don't like him. They think, one, he's a very corrupt man, and we all know that. And the second thing that they also resent is the fact that he's a very clever man. And the third thing that they resent is that he would do better than Buhari and evolve the country out of their control, because if somebody is able to create a civilized country out of that country, then the North will ultimately lose out, because it benefits them for the country to remain parochial and in a beaten down state and a barely literate state that it is, so then they can just continue to loot and pillage without much pushback. But if we create now a civilized country that functions in the manner of at least a lot of the civilized country, if not in the manner of the most civilized countries, but at least in the manner of a civilized country, then it will become increasingly difficult for them to continue to manipulate and control in the the way that they manipulate and control. Because if you provide for all of these people that have never had provision before, you can't then come back when it's your turn to take away all of these provisions and say that no, we will replace it because we are Fulanis and we are of a particular religion. So they're not going to have that anymore. So they are suspicious of Tinubu in all manner. So that's the first one. And the second one is they want to retain power. They want to retain power as the second objective, and that second objective is linked to the first objective because they don't want the Southerners showing them up and civilizing the country, because a civilized country will be out of their control. We saw that under Obasanjo when Obasanjo came and managed to develop the country. We had GSM, we had he was able to clear the debts, etc. And then we had Goodluck Jonathan come in and he created all this railway system and he built a lot of roads and he turned the country into the biggest and the largest economy in Africa. And this is conversely in contrast to what we had under Abacha, Buhari, etc. So they have that understanding that if a Southerner comes in, they might well create the sort of Nigeria that Nigerians want, and the sort of Nigeria that Nigerians want is a country that they can live in comfort and happiness, and that envelops everybody, including their northern brothers. So this is really where their concern is. So they want to retain power to continue with their Rankadede mannerism, and this now set play is what is in play now for that. So this narrative of this piece that I've just read to you now speaks to that agenda, to that plot, which is something that we have always understood as well to be in play. So what is your reading of the chess play that is Nigeria is the question of this video. But before you come tell me what you make of the Nigerian state, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Click on the bell button as well, that's where you are notified every time I drop a video. Then come tell me what you are making of this very complex, very intriguing, but also interesting play that is going on in Nigeria in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, carry on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.